new role. How are you settling into it?
Yeah, really enjoying it so far. It's, I suppose, very fortunate that my first days are at the emerging Socceroos. So look, it's really exciting. I'm really happy with what I saw on the first day. Some really good quality young players coming through the system, which is pleasing to see.
I know you developed a reputation in Adelaide for working with young players, but now you're working with very young players. What attracted you? What attracted this role to you?
Quite outspoken about my time at Adelaide about providing opportunities for young players, and before I was an A-League head coach, I worked in this system for 8-9 years working with those young players, so it's something that I'm very passionate about. I'm also very passionate about our national teams as well, so look, it's sort of a right time for me. I spent a long time in the A-League, and I suppose it started to maybe fatigue a little bit at that stage, so this is a bit of a refresh for myself, and really looking forward to the years ahead. It's exciting times as well now with the 17s World Cup every year, so it's a great position to be in.
What are some of the keys to the transition from working with grown men to working in the space of talent ID and nurturing 15, 16-year-olds?
Yeah, look, it's the difference is I'm working for tomorrow with the young players. When you're working with senior players, it's all about the result and getting the result today. So it's about providing these players a strong platform to go on and have successful careers. And it's about giving them guidance and direction and what it takes to make that high level.
We're seeing a lot of excitement about Australian young players at the moment, players getting moves overseas. Trevor's side just winning the Asian Cup recently. We're seeing these generations that have now come up through the curriculum and everything. I mean, what are the key things to build upon for the next generation, and how do you do it?
Yeah, I suppose the key is, and we've seen that now with the under-20s, is game time for these young players in the A-League, and it's fantastic to see so many A-League clubs now providing those opportunities for young players, and that's all young players need. They need the opportunity, they need that belief in them that they can play at this level, and we've always said that up to 16, 17 years of age, Australia does exceptionally well, and we needed to fix that gap from 17 to 20, and I think the A-League have done that, especially the last 18 months. So it's now it's providing more opportunities for our younger players to get that exposure, so they can develop quicker.
You touched on the annualised under-17 World Cups now. It means the action's going to come thick and fast every single year for every age group. How do you adjust to that, and how do you make sure that Australia aren't just qualifying for these annualised World Cups but actually doing well at them?
Yeah, look, it's about having a lot of contact, with the clubs where the players come from, getting as many contacts as we can with the players and the clubs, and it's about providing that next step for the players. As you say, a 17 World Cup every year, it's going to be exciting for the players to be on that stage and promote our football as a nation, and show that we are competitive at that age group with the rest of the world.
Coming into this sort of role, what sort of collaboration should we envision with you having, particularly with Trevor, I guess, but also up the lines with Tony Vidmar and also maybe even Tony Popovic?
Yeah, I think you can see here we've got Trevor Morgan's here, Tony Vidmar's here, so all the junior national team coaches are here working together to ID the first, I suppose it's the first stepping stone for our young players into our national team system. So look, it's important that we have that collaboration and have those principles put in place early, and that discipline for the young players to what it requires to be a Socceroo, because it's not easy to get there, and the bigger the base, the bigger the pool that we can have at this age group, it's only going to be advantage for for the Socceroos in years to come.
And you touched on how much of an advantage it was that your first days are here at the new championships. Why? What makes these championships such an important part of the Australian football ecosystem?
Because it's it's unfortunate. We're in a very big country, so it's difficult at times for young players to have high quality games. and be tested in their own age group. A lot of the times, our young players are playing up age groups, so it's important that they get to play against kids their own age at that level, so we can actually get that development right and put plans in place where with individual players. It's not so much about team performances here, it's more about identifying individual players that we believe can potentially be a future Socceroo.